Hello, beloveds. This is the first Hot Mess Ministry Sunday sermon. Welcome. I have to admit that I am a little nervous. I have been doing blog posts for years and years, but for some reason, this being a sermon serving the divine is making me nervous. Thankfully, I have an out in that the name is Hot Mess. So that gives me an out that I don't have to be remotely perfect. And this won't be. My children may come in, my dog may bark. I have been unallowed to script anything, so, I'm just gonna talk with the words the Divine Mother gives me, and I don't know what they're gonna be. So it's not gonna be perfect, but this is our first one, and I'm so excited. Thank you for coming and being interested. So, for our opening blessing, what I'm going to do, and I have lit a candle, I have on my little shawl, I brushed my hair, I'm making it like a little sacred space. So if you want to do that, just pause the video if you want to light a candle, do whatever you want to do. But I am going to call in the energies of the divine. And you can call in any energies that mean something to you, whether it's your angels, your guides, I call it the Divine Mother, if you want to call it Spirit, God, whatever. If you want to call in some passed on loved ones, whatever you want to do, call in the sacred energies that mean the most to you. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm just going to offer this whole sermon to the Divine Mother. Divine Mother, I offer this whole sermon to you. Give me the words you most want me to share, and let everyone who is here listening receive this with the highest vibration, and let them be changed after the sermon is over. All right, let's just get into it. Our first topic, and it's such an important topic because I talk about surrender all the time. If you want my whole surrender story, then click on the blog post that says my surrender story. But my life absolutely changed when I decided to surrender. But what does that mean? And what does that look like? And why do we want to do it? For most people, and I have been researching many surrender stories for the past 6 months, many people who surrender over to the higher power or to the divine do it in a space of desperation. And that was the case for me. It doesn't have to be that way, but most people have to be brought to the breaking point of, I can't figure this out anymore, and I would rather leave this world than try and figure it out one more moment. That's where I was. I had to surrender. I had come to the end of myself, and I knew there had to be something different. So I just had this moment where I'm like, okay, I'm so done. I am so done, and I don't know what to do. And I had to live in that void for about a day. It took a month to bring me to my knees for the whole surrender thing, which I talk about in my surrender story. And then I had a day that I had to just sit in this void, and then it came to me about 24 hours after I said I'm done, and just to look up the ultimate divine surrender. What does that mean? It just came to me. It was the divine talking to me, bringing me home, and it brought me to the exact information that I needed. And again, you can hear all about this on my surrender story. But in that moment, I was awash in the divine energies. I was being awashed in these divine energies, and at the same time, it was washing away the burdens. And in that moment, was imparted to me the divine mind. So it was an instant thing. But then it's also a gradual sort of thing. So it can happen in a moment. You have to invite it in. You have to ask for it. You have to sort of be even on your knees begging for it. I was. And so and then in a moment things can change, and then there's a gradual blossoming into the divine mind, which is where I have been the past 6 months. Do you have to be at that desperate breaking point to surrender? I would think no. In fact, if you're not at that desperate breaking point and you want to surrender it right now, all the power to you. I think most people absolutely have to just be pushed to that breaking point where They don't care what happens, but something has to be absolutely, definitely different. So I'm calling this first topic Surrender Equals Home because that's what it's been like for me. And it is, the divine mind gives you the information on how to create your own heaven on earth, or how to just be a, how to allow the heaven on earth, but it is like being home. And so why do we want to do this? Because I think we can all agree that this world is crazy insane, okay? This world is a hot mess. And the reason we're struggling is because we know it's insane and we can't align with that insanity anymore. When we come to the end of ourselves, we know that there's nothing else we can fix, figure out, control, or manipulate on our own. And I had been doing that for years and years with some varying success. But at some point it all just it's not a solid foundation to build anything on, because you think you're powering it yourself. When you surrender over to the divine, and for me it was the Divine Mother, then you are building on a solid foundation. You are not the source that is powering things. You are offering yourselves to the source to be powered. Um, and the reason it's home is because it feels so much better. There is relief here. But there's a couple things that the divine wants you to know. And that is that you are fiercely, fiercely, fiercely loved. It wasn't until the August 2017 eclipse that I had the realization, oh my God, there is a source, a force out there that loves me deeply. We all know about the universe, and we talk to the universe and we talk to God, but to actually have this source inviting you home to be loved and cradled and protected and provided for, all of a sudden you realize you're not an orphan of the universe anymore. There is this source and this force that loves you. So use my term if you want, the Divine Mother. Everyone has a mother, and everyone wants to be mothered. And this Divine Mother, and to me it's a Divine Mother because the divine feminine energies came in through that portal of the eclipse in 2017. She came in and she claimed me. It took me till December to surrender to her, but it took me, there was 4 months where I understood that I was really, really loved. I had to build in that trust. You don't have to take 4 months. You can do it in an instant. And so the Divine Mother wants you to know that she is talking to you as as her beloved child. You are a beloved child of the divine, dear brother or dear sister. You are fiercely, fiercely loved. And when you understand this unconditional love, that you can't do anything wrong, everything you feel like you've done wrong has been forgiven, because in the divine's eyes there's nothing to forgive. A Course in Miracles is great for this, by the way. It talks about how the only thing that is real is love, and that is why the divine can overlook everything we do that's wrong, because to the divine it is not real. Only the things that we create out of love and beauty are real. Only the words we say of love and beauty are real. Only love and the beauty of God are real. So that's why all is forgiven. And all that is not beauty and the love of God can be washed away when we surrender over to the divine. I say that surrendering to the divine was the end of my spiritual journey. I didn't know it was bringing me back into intimacy with God. I had no idea. I thought that I was going to become this powerful God myself. I thought I was reuniting with my soul and I was going to do everything. I gotta admit, it's a huge relief to know that I am being reunited with a source that loves me, and that the power comes from that source. And it will fill me up, and I will be able to do these wonderful things. But it doesn't come from me, it comes from this force of love. So even though we are love, we are not the creator. There is a creator of love, and we are a part of this. So when we understand that we are so, so loved, we can start to trust the divine. And this is really the key. It's so easy to maybe surrender some things over, but not everything. But when we learn to trust, when we absolutely learn that we can trust this source, this force that loves us more than anything else, then maybe we can trust that that divine being, that divine mother, has a much, much better, much more expansive plan for us than what our human minds can contrive and conceive on their own. So we're surrendering everything over, our plan, our will, our desires, our dreams, because look where they've gotten us. Maybe 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's gotten us nowhere fast. We surrender all that over and say, Divine Mama, I give up. I give up my plan for myself and I ask for your plan. That takes a huge leap of faith and trust. But as you grow in the divine mind, you get to understand that you can trust this source, this force, more than anything else. Think of the love of a mother. She wants nothing else than to protect you, provide for you, delight you, gift you, bless you, restore you. She wants to do all of this. And so this is a force we can trust and surrender to. So, dear brothers and sisters, if you can have just a tiny bit of trust, the divine loves you so, so much and wants to restore you to your divine plan. It is time. It is absolutely time. It's time to stop messing it up on our own and say, all right, come on, you come in and take it over. And it's not a passive thing, because when we hand it over, we're given new ideas, new inspirations, new ideals. We're given new information, new pathways that we act on. But it's joyful. It's expansive. I have thanked the Divine Mother so, so, so many times in the past 6 months for being able to do things through me so much better than I could do on my own. So, dear brothers and sisters, this is how we create heaven on earth. We reunite with Source and we create a relationship with her. She wants intimacy with us. She wants a relationship just like any mother wants a relationship with her child. So talk to her every day with the divine mind. Every worry, every figuring out, every trying to fix it, manipulate, and control it is washed away, and instead you're handing it over to the Divine Mother. You're talking to the Divine Mother. You're asking her for inspiration. It comes a conversation. The worries turn into a conversation and intimacy with the divine. So without further ado, if you are ready for this, with just a tiny bit of trust and faith is all that's needed to spark that divinity in you. Let's do this now. And again, I don't know what she's going to say, but now let's have a little surrender prayer. And this moment could change everything. So, dear brothers and sisters, close your eyes. Do whatever feels prayerful and sacred to you as we say, Divine Mother, I now surrender my life, my plan, and my vision, my dreams, desires, and burdens. I hand them all over to you. I lay them at the altar of your feet, and I ask you to pick me up and cradle me in your loving embrace. And I ask you to deliver me to the divine mind and recreate me according to your plan, your vision, and your design. From this day on, Mother, I want intimate connection with you, and I will talk to you. I know you have been here the whole time, and you've just been waiting for me to open my eyes and see you. At this moment, Divine Mother, I open my eyes and I ask to be shown signs today or sometime this week to let me know that this connection and this relationship to you is real and true, and I can trust it. I offer myself fully to you, Divine Mother. Recreate me according to your highest love. Amen. I'm going to pause for a drink. Okay, dear brothers and sisters, this was a moment. Honor it. Take a deep breath in, feel it, and just Because once you do surrender it over, we're going to segue into the second topic. Once you do surrender it over, every aspect of your life will change if you allow it. You're not just surrendering over the one aspect, or the money part, or the relationship part, the part. Once you surrender it over, everything will be recreated, including your divine purpose. And the reason surrender is so important right now is because every single one of you watching has a divine purpose. And the time for that purpose to be birthed is now. And we cannot birth that divine purpose without the intimate relationship with the divine. With the last blog post I did introducing the Hot Mess Ministries, this ministry is part of my purpose. And I had been delaying and procrastinating because I didn't feel like I was ready. I didn't feel like I was perfect or that I had it all figured out. And I was letting that stop me. And boy, was it stopping me. Talk about having your wheels stuck in the mud. It was only when, the darkness can really come in if it's time to live your purpose and you're not doing it. And that's where I was. I had a really dark night of torturous thoughts and feelings, and it's because I had been stalling myself. It was only when I said, I've had nights like this before, and I've been able to come up with some divine verse to let it dissipate. None of that was working. The only thing that worked was when I said, okay, tomorrow I start my ministries. It is part of my purpose. It's a big part of my purpose. And with that, the floodgates opened. It's time. And I will tell you, let me tell you what happened. Once I made that, that blog post announcing the ministries and the surrender sessions, I had 4 surrender sessions booked last week, which was wonderful. But then that night that I was having that darkness, I was weighed down by 3 heavy burdens. Oh, all right, look, I'm starting to stall. So I'm going to say, Divine Mother, I surrender the technology over to you. Can you please correct it so that we can do this, do the sermon? Please correct it, Divine Mother. Please correct it. Okay. I trust that she will correct this. I know there was a freeze. Okay. So the 3 heavy burdens was a work burden, it was a body burden, and it was a family member burden. 3 really heavy burdens just collapsing me. As soon as I said, I am doing my ministries, these burdens were lifted all in the same week. And in miraculous ways, absolutely miraculous ways. Things I needed for my body wisdom fell into my lap. I asked for the restoration of my body for my birthday. My birthday was June 12th. And one of my clients recommended a book to me, which was spirit-led. The book is spirit-written, and she had this nudge to recommend it to me, and I ate it all up. I'm like, oh my God, this is what's going to help me right now. The family member burden was released the very day that I made that blog post. I got a phone call and about a miraculous resolution. And then my work burden was lifted because I had 3 pregnancy announces the same day for some work I had been doing for the divine this past winter to help women get pregnant. And I was having such a crisis of faith with that. I'm like, Divine Mother, come on, you got to show me something. I can't carry this. And then 3 pregnancy announcements the same day. I was on my knees crying. Divine Mother, thank you. You are so good. Dear brothers and sisters, this is what happens when we live our divine purpose. And each one of you, look inside. You know what it is. There is something in you that wants to be birthed, and you're stopping yourself because you think you're not ready, because you don't have it all figured out, because it's not perfect. You just have to start and let the divine lead you. She is leading me through all this. Look, she won't even let me script anything out. She's like, I'll give you the words. You don't have to know what's coming next. You just have to trust. And I know each and every one of you has something that wants to be birthed right now. So take action. Today's Sunday, but you don't have to do it today, maybe tomorrow, but make a commitment that I know that there's something in me that needs to come out. Surrender first so you can have this divine mind imparted to you. And then open up to say, okay, what is my purpose? I am willing I am willing to do it. Because the purpose the divine has for us, it will add to the gifts we already have. It will expand them, strengthen them, and it will also give us gifts we didn't know we had. I didn't know I was going to have certain gifts, and I'm not going to say it yet, but well, yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's healing gifts. I didn't know I was going to have healing gifts. I knew I could heal the mind with my words. And with the divine impartation, when I surrendered, I was also told that all of us, many of us, will also be healing bodies as well. It's part of the restoration. So this is part of my divine purpose, which is much more than I ever expected. And when I got the information that this is what I will be doing, well, not only healing the mind, but healing the body, this was a moment where I fell to my knees again and said, oh my God, yes, yes, I want to do this for you, yes. So let us offer it up, because a lot of depression comes from the fact that we are not carrying out our divine purpose. We are not doing what we came here to do. So a lot of it can be alleviated when we absolutely surrender it over. And when it comes to depression, we can ask that to be lifted. When it comes to addiction, we can ask it to be lifted. We can ask anything to be lifted that we cannot do ourselves. We are not supposed to carry the burden. It's violating spiritual law when we carry the burden. And that's why it hurts so much. Burdens hurt so much because we're not supposed to carry them. We're supposed to offer them over to the divine. So we've already surrendered in the first part of this program, and so now I'm going to offer a divine blessing for our purpose. So I'm just going to say, and again, just take whatever stance feels most sacred and prayerful to you, and we'll just say, Divine Mother, I now offer myself up to you so I can fully carry out your divine purpose for me. I know I have a gift that needs to be shared with the world. Show me the steps clearly in how to take it. Expand me in ways that I can't even imagine it. I offer myself up to you fully, and I commit to fulfilling my divine purpose through you and for you. Amen. That's the thing, divine brothers and sisters. We don't do the work for ourselves. We don't do it to even save the world or make money. We do it as an offering to the divine. What's going on right now is a restoration of this earth. And the divine needs us as her instruments of the restoration. So if you have healing gifts, it is time to bring those out. And you know who the healers are. I have every single woman I did a surrender session for last week has a healing ability. They're high priestesses, they're shamans. So many of us have been preparing for this lifetime through past lifetimes. And this is our lifetime to shine and participate in the restoration of this earth. We are being restored to sanity. It happens here first. First, we're restored in the mind, then we're restored in the body. And as we're restoring, we help restore others, because as we heal, others heal. As we heal others, we are healed. So there's a give and a take. Anytime we give something, we're also given it back. Which brings me to the offering plate program. This was not my idea, because, it can be weird still, saying, okay, here's the offering plate, but there's a donate button here per orders of the Divine Mother. And this is for our own experience of expanding into giving and taking. Divine Mother, I ask that you unfreeze my video so we can finish this. Okay, I'm trusting that this will be unfrozen. Divine Mother, I surrender this to you. All right, I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, come on, Divine Mother, you can do this. Okay, so we're freezing. I'm just gonna. Okay, all right, we're back. We're back. I'll have to figure out a different way to film this. But when we give, we also receive back. And when we contribute our energy, that energy is given back to us and sometimes multiplied. So the offering plate is being passed around right now. And with an experiment, okay, the divine is working with this experiment. Whatever you offer today, I want you to look and see how it is returned to you this week. It will be returned to you. This is a lesson in giving and taking. So if you choose to donate, bless the money. Bless the money because it is serving a divine purpose, and see how it comes back to you. So this is the offering plate blessing. Divine Mother, I offer this money to be donated to invest in this divine gift. And I know that whatever I give, I also receive back, sometimes multiplied. So let me see how this is returned to me. Amen. Thank you if you choose to donate. I have been starting to donate 10% of whatever's in my bank account every week. And I have to give a shout out to my friend Carrie, who gave me this idea. But it's helping to change my prosperity consciousness. Because in the past, I'd see donate buttons and I'd go, ooh, I can't afford it. Ooh, when I have money. Now I have money I have to get rid of. And that is a huge mindset change for me. So I'm either donating to places where I'm spiritually fed. Thank you, Carrie, for that. Or I'm investing in someone's divine gift. And it's always returned back to me. And that is a good exercise in prosperity consciousness. So thank you. So we're going to just solidify what we've been talking about today. The surrender. There was a moment there. There was a moment there where you surrendered and you asked to be shown that this is true and real and you can trust it. Look for that sign. You're not going to go away the same that you entered this sermon, this video. And the divine blessing. You will get inspiration. Give yourself patience. It doesn't all have to come at once. There is a moment and then there's a gradual, but every day. The more you talk to the Divine Mother, the more she talks to you. So establish that relationship. Talk to her. I talk to her first thing in the morning. Anytime I'm worrying about something, I'm talking to her. When I'm preparing my food, I'm infusing it with her. When I go to bed at night, I offer her my dreams and my sleep to benefit her. Talk to her. The more you talk to her, the more you can hear her because she's always talking to you. So now I'm just going to give a call to spread the love, energy, and blessings. Look for ways this week where you can do an act of love, and it's serving the divine, it's serving the restoration, it's serving your own purpose. And take a deep breath, dear brothers and sisters, because the divine is palpable here. I can feel it. It makes me sort of heavy-lidded and kind of woozy. Feel the divine energies coming through and to you, enveloping you. You are now enveloped in the divine, and you are now carried in the arms of the Divine Mother. So ways to share the love and the blessings and the energy. You can look for things, just like I said, look for things where you can invest in someone's divine gift. Start your divine purpose right away because your divine purpose will help others. And if someone's pissing you off in the grocery, in the grocery store line or in the traffics, bless them. Just bless them. See the energy change in you. It's a ripple effect. The divine energy is contagious. And remember, we can always call on the divine for big things or little things. Ask for her in every single moment. Technical difficulties she can help with. So ask for her in every single moment and know that you are cradled and loved. Thank you, divine brothers and sisters. I wanted this to be half an hour, and look, it is. Know that you are fiercely, fiercely loved. You are a beloved child of the divine. You are lavishly provided for and highly celebrated. Surrender your purpose over to the divine and watch how it starts to open the floodgates for miracles to happen through you. I love you.